Hi, this is Amy Ritterbush, and I wanted to give you the select board actions taken for May 9th, 2023. To begin with, we had a short executive session to discuss the town manager's contract as well as approve executive session minutes. And then in our open session, we had a public comment period with a lot of members of the public in attendance. We had 6 members of the public talk about the LNG facility on Wilson Street, the Eversource facility. And these are residents that live in that area and had questions about a recent article they had read and other discussions. Then we had one comment about the downtown corridor project with concerns about how some areas were being left with gravel open and rocks were kind of getting everywhere. And then the sign that was directing people to take Maple Ave rather than Maple Street, and it's pretty sloppy, hard to read sign, so she brought pictures of that. And then we had 8 members of the public speak about the Upper Trails Trail Committee, especially regarding the town meeting vote to abolish the Upper Trails Trail Committee. And then, then we moved on to the consent agenda. So the consent agenda was to approve the minutes of April 11th, April 25th, and May 1, to accept a gift in the amount of $3,600 from the Hopkinton Library Foundation to the Hopkinton Public Library to be used for monthly music and movement classes for children. We also accepted a gift of a backpack child carrier for the Library of Things at the Hopkinton Public Library from the Hopkinton Trails Club. And they had actually brought it there in person so we could all see it. Sounds like a really great item for people to try out because they're kind of expensive and you might want to try it before you buy your own. We accepted the resignation of Priya Vasudevan from the Sustainable Green Committee. And then we had town employee appointments. We appointed Seth Ledoux as the Senior Library Assistant, and we appointed Erin Grogan as the Parks and Rec Program Coordinator. Let's see. And then we had an update from the fire chief and police chief and the town manager regarding a preparation drill that they had done at the LNG facility on Wilson Street. And so that was great to hear that. That's something we've been wanting to do for years, to do a live kind of simulation as to what if something went wrong, how would we all react. Members of the emergency services from other towns even came to participate. So it was really good to hear that had gone well and that they were going to plan to do it again in the future. Then we talked about volunteer recognition and opportunities to recognize town volunteers. And again, we're trying to it's hard to find something that everybody can do, but we talked about potentially sending out certificates and also maybe a coupon for a free ice cream or something. And we thought about tying it in with some kind of town event, like if we could do this at the concert on the Common, maybe bring an ice cream truck and give the town volunteers a coupon for a free ice cream. And then not everybody can come, of course, but we could mail them to everyone else. I'm not sure exactly if we're gonna do that yet, but that was an idea. And then sadly, we talked about the fire chief resignation and transition plan. So unfortunately, Chief Miller has resigned and he's going to be working in Bellingham going forward. And so for now, the deputy fire chief will take over, and then they will, the Human Resources Office will work on putting together a job description and posting the job for the permanent chief. Let's see, then the Upper Trails Trail Committee, we acknowledged the town meeting vote on the Upper Trails Trail Committee to dissolve the committee, and expressed that we want to work with stakeholders for a solution that the majority of the town will support. We tossed around various ideas and of how we want to move forward and get public feedback. And so ultimately, we decided that Irfan and I would get together. Irfan is the liaison to the Upper Trails Trail Committee. We would get together and kind of come up with a process framework where we might have a survey and do some forums, and then, probably a forum, and also get feedback from both the current Upper Trails Trail Committee and the TCMC committee. So we didn't have time to finalize that, but we'll try to continue to work on that at the next meetings. Then at the town meeting, the town manager report, we talked about town meeting, what went well, what didn't, and we all had homework to think about that and send that to the town manager. We talked about the Main Street Corridor project. It's in a very disruptive phase of the project right now, where they're doing the full depth excavation, and it's a dirt road. It's not pretty out there and difficult to work with, but that part is going to last about 3 weeks. Then it would be more of a more normal construction season till the project completes, which is around ideally October 22nd, 2023. So about 150 or so days to go. Let's see, we discussed the PFAS treatment project. The town manager was going to have a forum for residents about that, because it's going to cost more. The filtration system for well 6 is going to cost more than we originally thought, but we have ARPA funds that we could use for that. So he's going to hold a public hearing and for the public on that before we move forward. But hopefully that will be getting in place very soon. And just in general, we're working with Southborough to make a connection to the MWRA, which will take years to actually accomplish. And so we'll have the filtration system on well 6 for the time being. And then after that, we can do a connection to the MWRA, which is doesn't have PFAS, and it is let's see, and it's also we would be together with a lot of other towns. So if any other contaminant or something were wrong with the MWRA, we would all pool our resources together to solve that, rather than if just one town has a problem, then we'd be on our own to fix it. But that is an expensive project, and although we voted the engineering and design of it, we still would have to go to town meeting for the construction. So there will still be more discussion on that to come. Then let's see. For liaison reports and board invites, we talked about for liaison reports, we talked about the Pride Parade is coming up on June 11th. The select board has decided to attend, so we RSVP'd for that. It's from 1 to 4 at the Happiness Center for the Arts on June 11th. Then, let's see, Mary Jo brought up that the marathon this year, the layout of the common didn't work really well for residents this year and spectators. It was hard for them to get to places to watch the marathon. So we discussed that we would bring that to a future, so the marathon committee and the BAA can work together on that hopefully for next year, and we should be sure to send our feedback. She also noted that three of us, Mary Jo, Shaidul, and I went to the Greek Consul in Boston the week before the marathon for for the wreath ceremony. And that's a really nice event. We thank them for inviting us. And then, let's see. And then we decided that on June 6th, which is our first meeting in June, we're going to come to the meeting a little bit early so that we can raise the Juneteenth flag at Town Hall, which is a state holiday, and we will also hang a Pride banner at Town Hall. So we'll do that before the June 6th meeting. And I think that was it for liaison reports. Future agenda items, we did mention that we might want to do something to honor runners from Hopkinton, and maybe the top runners from Hopkinton. Apparently a lot of the other marathon towns do that, and we have a lot of runners every year, especially charity runners in Hopkinton, so it would be good to acknowledge them. So I think that was it. Thanks.